Cyber Monday, so we have just finished the last big hurdle of the year, and all we have left is December, and that is it. And then we get to kind of just chill out a little bit in January because that's typically when sales start to slow down anyways, and then there's not a lot of markets because here on the East Coast it gets too cold, so we don't really have a lot of markets for people to attend. I think it typically opens up around like March or April, so I'll start signing up for those then. But it's like a solid like 3 months of just chillness. You can focus on making art, you can just relax, recharge. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. But because it is Cyber Monday, it is the last day of my sales on both Etsy and my website. I got a few orders, so I'm gonna start packing those. I'm actually like surprised that I even got sales because for the last 2 or so years I have been pushing like my Etsy shop with ads, and that's how I mainly got sales. This year I was like, no, I'm just not gonna have any ads. And surprisingly, I got a lot more sales than I've gotten in the previous years. So I feel like that's a good sign that my maybe channels for both YouTube or any of my socials is growing because it is reaching the right audience. So maybe I don't have to have Etsy ad sales anymore. Yeah, typically I do get a few sales during this Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend, but honestly, I get my most sales historically like the first week of December all the way up until maybe a week before Christmas. Like that's when I get like multiple orders a day because I feel like people don't like gravitate towards buying, stationery items from like Etsy or something on Black Friday, Cyber Monday. They save that for like after the fact, and then they want like stocking stuffers, so they buy my stuff after the promotional week. I feel like the next week or so is gonna be super busy. This week I'm anticipating some sales, hopefully, and then I have an event to go to during the week. It's gonna be like Thursday night. It's for a Shopify event, and then this weekend I have two markets. It's Saturday and Sunday, which is insane. I haven't ever had a full weekend of markets, and I don't think I've ever, or maybe like in the summer I had it for like a Brooklyn one. But this one is gonna be at my usual place, and then I'm trying a new one for a couple hours on Sunday, so we'll see how that does. For Saturday, I am anticipating a little bit more sales because one, it is the holiday, and I've spoken to a lot of other vendors who have done that one specifically in the holidays, and they're like, oh, people are gonna buy so much that month if you do any of the markets. So I'm anticipating for that. And it's a night market. It's gonna be from like 2 to 7, and there's gonna be a Santa Claus photo op situation. So I'm hoping there's gonna be a lot of kids and parents, and because it's still kind of early on in December, I'm hoping that they haven't bought their gifts yet for, again, stocking stuffers, and they'll come by my booth and they'll buy some stuff. So I'm having a lot of high hopes for that one, but again, I don't want to like pressure myself into thinking that like I'm gonna make an X amount more than I usually do. Yeah, so I'm just gonna start the week off by packing the orders and shipping them out. I'm probably going to have to drop it off at the post office rather than just putting it in my mailbox because I have two orders that are 2 boxes, so I'm probably going to, yeah, it's not gonna fit in my mailbox, so I'm just gonna have to drop it off, but that's totally fine. I'm either gonna drop it off today if I have time or tomorrow morning. Yeah, I definitely want to get it out like sooner rather than later because I know the post office and shipping deliveries are gonna be so crazy the next couple of weeks. Making sure that all of my orders have tracking because there were so many times last year that I would send out like a single pin or keychain and it just didn't get to the person. Luckily, like they ordered it early enough and they let me know early enough that they didn't get it so that I could reship it with tracking, and they got it before like Christmas. Don't want to run into that issue again, and I know it's still like pretty early into the month. It's December 2nd, so I don't think I will run into that issue right now, but I don't want to like take my chances either. So everything will have tracking from here on out, except unless you like order a couple stickers, then I don't think I'm going to add the tracking. It's just gonna be an envelope and a stamp, and it's gonna be shipped your way. I packed my orders that are just the pins, keychain stickers that are in envelopes, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put these in my mailbox so that they will just go and ship. And then the other orders that are in boxes, which are mostly our candle orders, I'm gonna pack them tonight, and then I'm going to drop them off at the post office tomorrow, just because I'm like looking at the candles and I feel like I want to clean it up a little bit, since we made it and like took photos, and like it's just been moved around a lot in our studio. There's a lot of like dust on the tops, and I don't want to like send that out. I want to like clean it up so that when the customer gets it, it looks good and clean. So I think that's gonna take a moment of my time, so I think I'm just going to do that tonight just because I have other things to do right now that are more pressing, but didn't want to delay these other orders, so I'm just gonna do that, just drop these off, and then the boxes tomorrow. You know, it's closer to the market now, and I was gone for like 2 days because I had to go to the office, and that's just like a whole day's thing. I try to come back from work and it's like 7 or 8 o'clock already, so I just usually like to relax, but I also do a lot of like admin stuff at that time. So if you get emails from me at like 8 or 9, it's because that's the only time I get to answer back or like do anything for my small business. That's when you usually hear back from me, if not like early in the morning before work. But anyways, so before I went to work the day before, I decided to make my clay magnets, or at least like some of it, and they turned out great. When I made it, I put it in the oven, took it out, it came out perfect. But then, like 2 days later, for some reason, I don't know like what happened, but the white clay turned green. Let me like show you. It's kind of insane, and like I don't know what to do. I tried to like paint it white, and it looks, I don't know. It looks fine to me, to be honest. It looks like this, and I think it looks fine to sell for me. I thought it'd be even worse because I was like, it's gonna look so bad, it's not gonna look natural, but like it actually looks fine. Like I approve of it. But like if someone can tell me why my clay, or like my white clay specifically, turned a different color after 2 days, let me know. I'm like thinking if it's because it was cold in my house, I don't know, and that's why it turned green, or something happened that contaminated my white clay for some reason. I don't know, but I'm glad I'm able to kind of fix the situation. But if I can figure out why it even turned green in the first place, that would be nice, because I don't want this like extra work. So I think right now I'm trying to like paint it all white and then glaze it over. But yeah, it's just like an extra step that I didn't need, especially since I have so much other stuff to do already. So I think that's what we're going to be doing right now. But a little bit story of time for my week so far. I was supposed to go to like some Shopify event they were hosting something in New York, and it was the perfect day because that's the day I usually go in the office, and I thought that maybe I can just go to work and then I can go to this event right after. But it was also the same day as like my company's holiday party, which is right by the bus that I go to right after work anyway. So I was like, okay, that's like actually very convenient for me to just go and then like hop on the bus and then go home. Whereas the Shopify event, it's like downtown New York, so it's like about a 20-minute train ride. And so the party started at 7. And then on the invite for the Shopify event, it started at 6, or so I thought. At least that's what like the initial email said. But then like as the day of the event came closer, they were like, okay, everyone arrives at 6, but then the event doesn't start until 6:45. So really that means the event will go on for like another hour or so. So I wouldn't really be done until 7:45, if not closer to 8. And then I would have to take the train up again. Like it's gonna be 20 minutes to get to the holiday party. So I'd really get there at like 8:30, which means I would be like, I don't know, like an hour or so late to the party, which is like, I think it would have been fine. I feel like because it's like my first like event with a team, I didn't want to like, make a bad impression and like show up late. But it was fine because then like I got to meet a lot of new people and everything. And I had fun. It was so much fun. We probably stayed out till like maybe 10 o'clock, which is really late for me because it was on a weekday. But I would have stayed out anyway if I went to that Shopify event, which I'm kind of actually sad about having to miss, just because there was a like creator that was going to be speaking at the event, and I really love her because she's also a stationery creator and small business owner. So I was sad to like miss out on her talk. I think she's actually from like Canada, I think, or like somewhere in the West Coast. So she's definitely not from here. So I was surprised to see her as like a panel speaker, and she made it out. But it's fine. Like I feel like there's gonna be so many of these type of events in the city, and like I'm excited that I get to be able to attend these more frequently just because I'm already in the city, so might as well like take advantage of like my nightlife, I guess, just because I feel like lately I've been like going to work and then I just want to go home and like chill and rot on the couch. But I think it's probably more productive sometimes, or like even more fun to just go out a little bit and mingle and network with other creators, other small business owners, and learn from them. Because I feel like I haven't been doing that in like forever, probably since like being back in college. Like you don't get to do that anymore as like an adult. Like you have to like really put effort into networking. Like you really don't network anywhere unless you're at work. So you really have to go to these type of events if you want to meet like-minded individuals and like everything. So that's crazy. But anyways, so I went to the party for my company, and I ended up staying a little bit later than I thought, and then I got on the wrong bus. So I like freaked out. I went to like a different part of New Jersey, and I had to like get off the bus in the middle of nowhere and then just Uber home, and it cost me like $100 plus my bus ticket, which was already expensive. So that was a lesson learned to never stay so late because all the buses and their routes change at night, and I'm kind of upset that that happened to me, but it's fine. Like that never happens to me, I guess. But yeah, I guess like I am always so grateful to be home and like being able to do all these crafty things, because this like after a night like yesterday, I feel very at peace just painting my clay. While we're waiting for the paint to dry and the glaze to dry, let me show you what I got at Bryant Park. I think I mentioned it that I was stopping by my friend's booth, and she sells candles and scrunchies and like a bunch of sustainable items that she makes herself, but she's really known for her candles, so that's exactly what I got. I got her mahogany, teak wood, and oak, and it smells so good. And her booth was very cute too. It was like all pink, and you know me, I love pink everything, so I was so excited to visit. But this is my first, well, it's not my first time smelling it. I smelled it at the booth, but it's my first time opening it and smelling it. But this is what it looks like, the box wise, and this is her candle. It has her label and everything. It smells so good. Oh my god, I can't wait to light it up later. It gives off like very cozy wintry vibes, which was exactly what I was looking for. And I just love this like label too, just because like I love the color combo. It has like honey and it's like hand poured in tiny batches. We love like a sustainable company who only makes like small batches, doesn't encourage overconsumption. So I love that. And again, I just like cannot wait to light this up. And plus, I love the bag here. It's like so cute. I love the color combo. I love pink and green together. It's like the best combo, and it definitely fits like her brand aesthetic, which is again this like pink vibe. Okay, so they're done drying, and I wanted to like put it in a fun box. So this is what it normally looks like. It has like a little backing sheet like the rest of my like keychains and pins, and then it just says like I'm a magnet. But then I don't know, like it's kind of, I feel like my magnets are a lot heavier, especially this like hot dog one, and so it kind of, maybe I just need better paper too, but like it flaps a little bit and I feel like it's not that professional. And so I wanted to put it in a box, like a jewelry box, and especially because it's like the holidays too, I thought it would be like a fun little packaging. But then like I didn't realize the box was so big, and I ordered these like a while ago, so I can't even return it. But like look at the comparison, like compared to this charcuterie board. I'm trying to like hold it up. But it's just, there's just a lot of like room, but like ultimately this looks really cute. I just wish it was like this big. Ooh, it's moving. Like this big on the corner, and like it just makes the magnet look bigger rather than smaller because it's in such a big box. But another thing I could do is I can just keep the backing card and then just put it like this, and that just fits perfectly. But I'm starting to not like my backing cards. I feel like it's just not as cute and not as creative as my like other pins and keychain backing cards. If you've ever seen those are way more detailed, whereas this is just so basic that I'm not a fan of them anymore. So maybe I'll just have to like redesign it, but like do I have time to redesign it before tomorrow's market? Probably not. I'm in a debacle of whether I want to have this sheet in the back so that it fits perfectly, or just simply put it in the box and wrap it and call it a day. I don't know. Okay, so this is what it looks like, and it's so cute. I added like a little house because I knew that I wanted it to be like take me home, especially because I had like a hot dog one. Let me just like switch it out, or like get a new card. But let me try it out with the new hot dog, sorry. But yeah, this was the old one. this is the new one that I just cut out. And oh my gosh, so cute. Because I knew, again, like I knew that I wanted some type of like home, especially for my hot dog ones that are like wiener dogs, because I wanted it to be initially like adopt me or something, but I also wanted one that like serves all the other magnets. So I did like take me home, I'm a magnet, and it's like a home, and it's so cute. And again, I'm gonna be putting it in the box and it's gonna look like this, and that's, I think it's so cute. I was worried that it wouldn't like fit with the box, but I think if you just like push it down, it's fine. And then I think I'm gonna just like tie it up or like put tape or something to make it so that it doesn't just open up in someone's bag. But yeah, this is what it's gonna look like. I think I might figure out like what sticker sealer I'm gonna do, and I don't think that's gonna take that long. I might actually just use like my Happy Mail stickers. If you've seen those, it's not gonna be a time-consuming project of me having to like find these sealer stickers. But I'm glad that we finished the backing cards. I thought it would take a lot longer, but I kind of just like drew it up and then printed it out. So yeah, one last thing off my list. Okay, so I just got back from my 2 markets this weekend and it was kind of insane. It was so busy. I feel like I literally prepared until Saturday morning when it was gonna start at like 12. So there was a lot of just like prep work for these 2 markets, which I was not expecting, especially since I did take November off and like I had a lot of time to prepare for these markets. But it was just like little things that I felt like I had to prepare for, like different labelings, some of the magnets I wanted to add new backing cards to. So things like I think I just wanted to update, but I never did until like this past week right before the market. So I guess that's really on me. Like I could have done that throughout the month beforehand, but I just didn't. But that's fine. And I think because it was so like back to back, that's what was insane about it. It's usually for the Saturday markets, it's usually from 12 to 5, and then I would just go home, prepare for the next day, and the next day, the Sunday market, it started at 11 to 1. Oh, I would have had time. However, for this holiday specific one, it started at like 2 and ended at 7, so I didn't really have much time to like prepare anything if I needed to. I luckily didn't like sell out of like anything specific that I would have wanted to replenish, so luckily I didn't need to like do anything extra for my Sunday market. But I feel like had I needed to, I would have been so stressed out having to come home, prepare stuff, and then go to my Sunday market. But speaking on the Saturday market, I mentioned before that this one was like very talked about. So there was an event on like Santa being here and kids would be taking photos with them. So there would be like an influx of traffic. And in general, when I was like doing these markets in the summer, I was talking to the other vendors who are more veterans here, and they've always done like these holiday markets here, and they mentioned that there were a lot of traffic. Everyone's gonna definitely buy from you because it's the holidays. And while this is one of my better markets in this location, I feel like it didn't like do that great, to be honest, compared to when I'm usually there, especially when the vendor fee for the holidays in this location is a little bit more than the summer ones. So I feel like it was kind of the same. Like, I feel like for sure there was a lot of traffic, but it didn't like no one was really buying that much. Maybe it's because there were a lot more vendors, or they're just not looking for my stuff in particular for the holiday. But I feel like I don't know. I don't know if I would do this specific day again next year. If anything, I'll do just one more. I do have the same market though, next Saturday, so maybe it's just the wrong day of the month for me to see that like big boom of sales. So I'll definitely test another holiday market out, but I don't know, this didn't really do that well for me. I feel like I got the same profit as if like I were to do a random one in the summer. I will say though, in the beginning of my Saturday market, it was really, really good. There was a lot of traffic to start off. I usually go to my markets a little bit early. So when they say the unloading time is like at a certain time, I try to make it to that time just so I can like unload and then start selling earlier rather than when the start time actually is. So for example, like I said, this one started at 2, but unpacking was like I think 12:30 or so. So I made it there at 12:30. It takes me like 30 minutes or so to unpack and just like set up and everything. So I had like, you know, that extra hour of selling, which was nice. But I definitely got like a lot of initial selling. There was a lot of traffic. I made my like vendor deposit in like 30 minutes, which was amazing, and then everything else after that was just profit. But then like towards the end of the market, maybe like 2 hours before, that's when I started seeing things slow down. I think it's because it was just like around dinner time, like no one's gonna stick around to shop, and the restaurants there were closed off for a private event for some reason. So I think people just left and not stayed around. So I think that's why I didn't have like a successful full day market. Thought there'd be like maybe a second wind towards the end, but I didn't get that. But it's all good because again, I made back my money and then I made some more. And for the Sunday market, it was a little bit slower. It was only 2 hours long. It was at like a gym, and I think it was like their first time trying to put together some sort of, you know, event, local shopping for the holidays, which was sweet. But it was definitely a different audience. It's close to the market that I was vending on Saturday, so it was kind of the same-ish but different type of customer. These were people who pay to work out at like a fitness class on Sundays. They're the wake up early on a Sunday and then do chores and whatever. But they definitely came through and they bought a bunch of our stuff. It was a very like selective audience, just because they were, you know, the customers of that specific gym. It wasn't like anyone that was just wandering around trying to impulse buy, you know. So it was nice to be there for a few hours. It was free, so everything I made was profit, and I kind of used that money as like, oh, now my next market on Saturday will be free because I made that much money back. So for my Saturday market, everything will be profit. But what was so wholesome about this specific event was there were a few customers that just came up to my table and was like, oh, I've been like meaning to find your table, like I've been following you and blah blah blah. And it's like, they were trying to find me, and it was just so nice to be known. Like, I'm such a small creator on, you know, YouTube, Instagram and everything, but like the local community in like my area is so like small and niche that like it's nice that someone was trying to like find you, they saw you on someone else's post or things like that. So it was nice to be recognized a little bit. I don't know whether I would do that market specifically again, just because even though it was 30 minutes, it felt a little far, and for 2 hours it was a lot of like prep work to just it was a lot of prep work just to like go there for a couple hours. And again, it was very like a selective audience, and I think I would rather do kind of like bigger events where there were a lot more people just roaming around doing impulse shopping. But I don't know, I think we'll see in the future of what I would do, but it was a good experience. It was definitely a more like intimate shopping experience, so I enjoyed that, and just like getting to know the customers. I don't know if I would do that one specifically again, but yeah, one more market to go and we're done for the rest of the year.